Hello, I wanted to pop on here and do a quick video about the thyroid. And why not, right? It's everyone's favorite topic. Actually, I was just thinking about how we're about to start our 30-day challenge in January. By the way, if you hop on here, stop, wave, say hi, let me know you're listening. We're about to start a 30-day challenge in this office, which I'm so excited about in January. We're all going to be eating healthier, cleansing our gut, maybe as a bonus, losing a few of those extra holiday pounds, and feeling great by the time spring rolls around and getting our year started off the right way. So we're going to be doing some things that can help things like underactive thyroid, like chronic brain fog and fatigue, like joint pain and inflammation. And so I want to specifically focus on the thyroid. Before I forget, I'm going to put my reference for my research article. That's not it. In the comments here so that you can look it up if you want. I always like to use my sources so you know I'm using scientific data. Okay, great. So first of all, TSH is the #1 thing that thyroid doctors or just general doctors order to check your thyroid. They say, great, let's see. Hi, Dina. So they say, we're going to check your thyroid. We're going to run one value. Now, raise your hand in the audience if you think that every organ in the body can be measured by one blood chemistry value. Should be no one, right? Because organs are very complicated. They do a lot of things. So this one value, it is meant to be an overview of what's going on. It's meant to give you a great idea of a very simple thing. Is your thyroid underactive or is it overactive? Very simple, right? But it's actually a lot more complicated in the ways it can be underactive or the ways it can be overactive, the things that can be going wrong. So really fast, Thyroid Stimulating Hormone, or TSH, is basically just a hormone released by your pituitary gland that controls the function of your thyroid gland. I like to think of it as your thyroid is a little kid and you want the little kid to clean their room. If your brain or your pituitary has to tell your thyroid 20 times to clean their room, you might have an underactive thyroid or a little kid who just won't, right? But if your brain tells your thyroid one time to clean its room like a little kid and it does it right away, even as a parent, you're almost going like, wait a minute, that's not right. You might have an overactive thyroid or like a really eager little kid. But when you clean your room, or as a thyroid, you do your function, imagine all the different ways kids can clean their rooms, right? You've seen it. They like slide everything under the bed, or like everything in the closet, or like they put the socks here and the underwear there and everything's wrong, or you know what I mean? There's a number of things that can go wrong in this process, but as a parent, you're like, thank goodness they just did it. So you do want to kickstart your thyroid, but there's a lot of steps that your thyroid does. There are several different things that your thyroid has to do in order to function correctly. So I made a quick little cheat sheet here. I'm going to put this behind it. But basically, so I'm not a drawer. Here's your brain. Okay, your hypothalamus lives in your brain and it tells your pituitary what to do. Your pituitary is like the conductor of your entire endocrine orchestra. So your pituitary sends TSH, which is go, 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 clean your room, do things, to your thyroid, okay? And then your thyroid starts doing things. It secretes several hormones like T3 and T4. Hey, Skip, good to see you. Then if it's doing this enough, if you're making enough of these thyroid hormones, then you get more TRH, which tells your brain, stop telling it to do that. It's a negative feedback. So it goes back to your brain and your brain says, okay, we can be done. We don't have to tell it anymore, and stop secreting it. If you're not secreting enough, it's going to say, all right, tell it again. All right, tell it again. And this is kind of how that goes along. Okay. So, let's talk for a minute about when you get your TSH run, what are they looking at? So they're looking at a value, a range. One of the most fascinating things to me is that the range they're looking at oftentimes goes from 0.5, so half, not even one full number, 0.5, all the way to 4.5. I'm here to tell you that the article I put in the comments has said for years now that when you have a TSH that's higher than 2.0, so half of that range, right in the middle, if it goes higher than that, you also have a higher likelihood of having insulin resistance, some kind of metabolic syndrome, a higher blood pressure, a higher body mass index or BMI, higher fasting triglycerides, these things that we know, of course, are not a good indicator of great health. So what I'd like to propose to you at first is that the optimal range, which is a much smaller range, is where a lot of us should really try to live, from 1 to 2. It's very simple to remember. 1 to 2, that's that sweet spot. And so if you have a doctor telling you, hey, you know, your TSH is normal, your thyroid's working great, you can say, hey, but what about all the things my thyroid does? Could something be wrong with those things? And 2, you could say, hey, but it's at a 3, and I heard that a 2 is really more like optimal health, and I don't want to wait until I'm a 4.5 and a really bad case of hypothyroidism before you do something for me. So you want to, oh, I've got a good question. So you want to, let me look at this here. You want to ask your doctor, 1, more questions. What's going on? 2, you want to demand that they order a little bit more. And it's not that hard. You want to ask, hey, so what does my free T3 look like? I'll write these in the comments. What does my free T4 look like? What about my total T3 and T4? Those are the hormones that your thyroid secretes. Do I have any anti-TPO antibodies? So those are things that can provide evidence of an autoimmune dysfunction. There's also thyroglobulin antibodies. These are some very basic things that your doctor can order that will give you like an epic idea of what's going on in your thyroid, and then you'll be able to make the changes in your life that will help you. Maybe you're really low on iodine, maybe you have no selenium in your body, maybe you have no B vitamins. There's all kinds of really simple, healthy, natural things that can really help to kick that thyroid into gear and make it function much, much better. So I'm going to write in the comments for you guys what labs to ask for here. And then, of course, I'm a chiropractor, so I'm biased. So you always want to be getting adjusted. So your thyroid lives right here. I actually had a patient the other day who was having like trouble swallowing and had constant hiccups and had, terrible neck pain. And that went away after 2 adjustments, guys. So you always want to be getting adjusted. You always want to be paying attention to how your nervous system is functioning. It's only going to function better if you do get adjusted. Then you can make some really simple dietary choices and changes, and you are going to be feeling better. You might even be losing a little bit of weight. Your blood work's going to improve. I've seen it happen time and time again. So just a little bit about TSH, what to ask for, what to look for. Thank you so much for watching, and go ahead and I love Dina's hearts right now. And then go ahead and just leave a comment, say hi, and have a great day, guys.